Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussion on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, the new Powerpuff Girls, and Star versus the Forces of Evil, among others. I'm Justin Cummings, and today I'm joined by Michelle Anderer.
Hello.
Today, Michelle and I will be discussing why she made me watch this movie.
I did not make you! We agreed on this together. It was a joint decision.
So, to recap, or to get you caught up to speed in case you missed, did we come up with this idea on the Total Drama podcast? I think it was. Or was it the Girl Who Left Through Time?
I think it was actually Girl Who Left Through Time, maybe.
It was one of those back-to-back
podcasts
it's one of those. Where we were here for 3 hours. So, this is part of our weekly movie discussion series. Michelle and I have been doing the OVA originals back together again. Michelle and I. I will make that catch on. I will make it catch on.
No, absolutely not.
This is our weekly movie discussion. This week we're covering the English dub specifically of Ponyo, or Ponyo as Disney insists on calling it. The 2008 Ghibli movie that was dubbed by Disney. And the reason this came about, we were basically told by Dylan, the head honcho, that you could do any non-Pixar Ghibli movie you wanted. All the Ghibli movies had a waiting list, or like a sign-up list of who was going to be on this podcast. Ponyo came up for some reason during Girl Who Left Through Time. For some reason, we started talking about Ponyo. And on air, I asked Dylan if there was a sign-up list. And surprisingly, no one was eager to do Ponyo.
I cannot imagine why.
So Michelle and I jumped on that. We found the one movie no one cared about. And we are now here. And I regret everything about this decision.
Really? After seeing it, you regret
I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about this movie. Michelle, you've seen it, what, twice now?
At least twice.
Okay.
Maybe 3 times.
Okay, before we get to your thoughts, you can find this podcast, you can find the Girl Who Left Through Time podcast, hear kind of the prologue to this. You can find all our podcasts at overlyanimated.com, or you can search Overly Animated on iTunes, Google Play, your favorite podcatcher. We're on Stitcher, and I owe Stitcher an apology. The last couple of episodes, I've been deriding Stitcher.
Yeah, I've been bashing it too.
Stitcher, thank you for your support. I'm happy to report there is no comment section on Stitcher, so please stop trying to find it if you were. Yeah, leave us comments on the website, overlyanimated.com. I am now a member of Stitcher, so please don't hate me, Stitcher users, for my Stitcher comments. I've seen the error of my ways. So
what did you do?
I joined Stitcher.
That's what you're apologizing for?
Well, no. I'm apologizing for all my anti-Stitcher comments. Or my ignorance as to Stitcher and its validity as a platform. It's the number one non-default podcast app. Like, outside of the podcast app, Stitcher's number one. That's pretty neat. So rock on Stitcher.
Yeah.
So oh wow. So Michelle, what's your thoughts on Ponyo?
I mean, for whatever reason, my remembering of this movie was so negative that when I actually rewatched it today, I liked it way more than I thought. So maybe it has a lot to do with expectation. If you go into Ponyo and you've never seen it, you're like, this is gonna be great, and then you watch it, and you're like, oh, what? But then if you already know it's as it is, and you go back, I feel like you can enjoy it a lot more the second time.
Yeah, I definitely got that feeling watching it. I'm like, if I watched this when it first came out when I was 11, I would have been like, either A, this is stupid, or B, oh no, I hope Ponyo's okay. And this time I'm watching it and I cared more about the mom than anybody else.
Mom was the most dynamic character, I think, honestly.
I could feel my thoughts on the movie just so different than what they would have been when I was 11.
You didn't see this when you were 11, did you?
I never saw the movie. This was my first time watching Ponyo.
Oh, it's you're not that much younger than me.
I was 11 when it came out.
Oh my god!
2008, I was 10 or 11.
Oh my god.
I'm giving it some slack. 2009, I remember I was 10 or 11 when this came out.
Oh, that's so weird. I was going to go into high school. Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, one thing we're probably going to talk about is so apparently Miyazaki made this for his 5-year-old grandchildren. So it's supposed to be made with 5-year-olds in mind.
Yeah.
And, like, the criteria of a good movie when you're 5 is very different than when you're an adult. So I feel like that has a lot to do with the way it was put together and like the huge plot things that are kind of awkward and just like logic not being a huge.
It feels very disjointed.
Sometimes.
It feels like 3 movies, kind of.
3 movies.
Well, okay. So much of it feels different. Like, most stories have 3 acts, basically. The acts felt so disjointed, they felt like separate stories. Like, from the beginning up till, like, Ponyo goes back into the sea, that felt like a complete story.
It kind of did, yeah.
And then, like, the last part where it's like, we have to test Sosuke, that was
the most arbitrary, like, why? Why?
Yeah.
That's when, like, it's like, if you're trying to apply logic to, like, why the parents decide to, like, put Sosuke through this, like, test of his love, it's like, there's no reason for that. The mom could have just, like, made her human, but, like, no.
Isn't he, like, 5?
Yeah, he is 5. I think they're both supposed to be 5.
Poor Sosuke.
But, like, yeah.
I can't. I can't imagine being him.
That point of the movie, but if you're a kid, I feel like it's like you're not looking for that kind of like understanding of why they're doing this. It's just like they're doing it, enjoy it, look at the pretty visuals. Oh, aren't they nice?
It is a pretty movie.
It's a very pretty movie.
I think I felt from the moment I saw the grinning fish in the opening scene, I'm like, well, I'm watching a Miyazaki movie.
The opening was really, really gorgeous.
It's just beautiful.
Like, swelling music and all the jellyfish and just like going into the ocean and like all those like animated like ocean critters, which is so awesome.
It was pretty, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's Underwater Spirited Away. I'm watching Underwater Spirited Away. I'm literally expecting Spirited Away to happen at any moment. Like, I was afraid I found the wrong movie.
Why is it? I don't think it. I mean, the opening of Spirited Away is very different.
I mean, yes, but I mean, just the style. Okay, maybe Kiki's Delivery Service would be a better comparison, but just that kind of fantastical feel. It's just very, very similar vibes.
That's fair. I mean, same director, so.
Yeah. So, your overall thought is better than you remembered.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like, I think the thing to keep in mind is, like, this, so, like, it's based off of The Little Mermaid, right? So, like, it's going for a very, like,
hey, we're getting there.
Simple fairy tale vibe, and I think that's, again, like, part of the reason why it's, like, if it's, like, trying to be, like, a children's book, but a movie, it did a really, really good job. Yeah. But if you're looking for, like, a strongly, like, narratively focused film with really complex, interesting characters, then Ponyo's not the movie for you.
But, okay, so that kind of answers my next question of, is it a good movie?
I think for what it's trying to accomplish, it's an absolutely fantastic movie. It's just like you need to adjust your expectations accordingly to enjoy it at all, maybe. To enjoy it anyway.
Well, there were parts that I enjoyed just objectively, and especially the voice cast, which is where we're gonna get to the voice cast.
You enjoyed that?
Parts of the voice cast.
I enjoyed parts of the voice cast.
Anyone over the age of 15, I enjoyed. I will say that. Our leads, I think that was Noah and Frankie. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I want to say under 15.
Frankie Jonas.
They weren't actually 5. I know
Noah
that much.
Cyrus, the girl.
Yep.
That's like the Disney-ness seeping into the movie.
It was basically, it's so weird because the lead. This answers my next question. What's bad about the dub? We're just gonna roll through this outline. You're just gonna
roll through them.
What's bad about the dub is Disney decided to play the they wanted to market as much as possible. They're kind of big stars, so they're like, I got an idea. Here's a movie about a little boy and a little girl. Let's take our biggest female star's little sister and our biggest male star little brother and appeal to the kids that watch Hannah Montana and Jonas. Let's appeal to their little sibling. We got this. And it feels more like a marketing stunt than a good casting decision.
It is! And this is like my biggest problem with like a lot of dubs, especially Disney dubs for like Ghibli films, because it is such a marketing ploy, and they're not doing it based on the merits of, are those kids good at being voice actors? No! But having their namesake garner like a wider audience.
Yes.
Release, absolutely. So let's just like botch it up and not care, and then just, make money. Which, it's a business, but like, man, it probably could have been a lot better than it was if they picked people based on merit and not stardom.
You got very passionate about that.
Oh, I think Ponyo is one of the best examples of why this is like not a good practice. But it happens all the time in movies. Like there's so many animated movies in the US that market based on like the really famous actors doing voice actor roles, and half the time, that's being generous, they're not that good. And they're actual people who do voice acting for a living, who like are really good at their job, who weren't getting considered because they don't have that kind of.
But then you have people like Mike Myers as Shrek. You have Robin Williams as the genie. Just these famous.
It can't be done, but I'm saying it shouldn't be like. I feel like if it gets to a point where they're casting someone based on the fact that they're very well known and they're hoping to get money out of people wanting to see them in a movie versus them being just really good at being a voice actor for that role, I think that's when you run into trouble. And being an actor and being a voice actor is not the same thing.
No.
It's a different job, and not everyone can do both. And I think that's kind of apparent for this movie.
Yeah.
Even though we're talking about kids, like, they did their best, but, like, honestly, we probably could have done better if we'd really looked harder. Those are my general thoughts on voice acting.
Yet a lot of the supporting cast is big names, and they do a really good job.
They do! I mean, I like Matt Damon, like, I can't even, like, say anything about him, because, like, Lisa's husband is like barely in the movie, but like Liam Neeson did a great job.
Yeah.
Tina Fey did a really good job. I think Tina Fey was my favorite.
The thing with this voice cast, I was shocked. Like every name I read, I'm sitting here screaming at my roommates.
I know them. What the heck? What are they all doing here? And I was like, oh, it's Disney, of course.
Liam Neeson, I think Qui-Gon Jinn, I think Taken, I think The Grey, I think Schindler's List. I do not think G-rated Japanese Little Mermaid, King of the Goldfish.
With the goldfish, and maybe he's like a wizard, right?
Yes, this is not how I picture Liam Neeson.
I don't know what's going on with him.
This is now how I picture Liam Neeson from now on until the end of time.
No.
This is my opinion of Liam. He did an amazing job, though.
He did a good job. I agree. It seemed way more fitting for him than like the young Jonas for Sosuke. Yeah. Especially the young Cyrus for Ponyo. Like, Neeson sounded like that guy would assume sound like if he spoke English.
So Neeson has a really hard time keeping track of his daughters, apparently, in movies. Is it a recurring theme now between Taken and Ponyo?
Yeah.
Poor Neeson.
Well. Maybe he's getting typecast.
Neeson cast as the father who can't keep track of his children. You heard it here first on the Overly Animated podcast, where we say that Ponyo predicted Taken.
Apparently Betty White even was...
Yeah, Betty White's one of the old women, and I'm like, Betty White?
When did that happen? Like, who she just called them up, be like, yo, I want in. It's got old ladies. I'm an old lady. Let's make it happen, Disney. And it just, like, worked itself out. I don't know. I just think it's really funny. Yeah. So many big names on this one.
Kate Blanchett was in it, too.
Yeah.
She was the, what's that character's name?
Gran Mamare?
I think when she showed up, I started getting more excited. I was like, okay.
She's so cool looking. And everyone's just kind of in awe of her whenever she's around.
Yeah. The way the characters kind of interact with her, they treat her with a lot of reverence.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing everyone talked about the first time this movie came out is just like, how did she get with Ponyo's dad? Like, how did that happen? Like, of all the like weird pairings, like,
it seems she can change size.
The size wasn't a question. Just like, how did they meet each other? Like,
I mean, he's a wizard, she's a goddess. Maybe he was doing like some bippity boppity boo, and she's like, hey, don't do this. And he's like, marry me. And she's like, okay.
I don't think they're married, though. I think they just hooked up. I mean, she's kind of doing her own thing.
Maybe she is just on business trips, and he is being a good stay-at-home father, and Disney was trying to send home a message here.
So it's like the opposite of Lisa and Koichi then, because Koichi's the one off in the sea all the time. She's the one home with Sosuke.
And they wanted to build this parallel by having Goddess Goldfish Queen Girl talk with Lisa, and boom, it's so beautiful.
Okay, we don't know what's really going on. This movie, again, its priority is not like making sense and giving us a bunch of backstory to make us more invested in these characters. It's just like, this is what's happening. Like, take it or leave it. That's all, you know?
Yeah.
Which I guess is fine. I mean, it doesn't need to explain everything. It just needs to be entertaining.
Yeah.
And if you don't think about it, the logic too hard, it is entertaining.
It's something. I mean, I did have fun with it. I'll admit. It was a fun movie.
I did too. There are a lot of really good moments.
So, we agree that most of the voice cast is fine. Tina Fey is excellent.
Yeah, Tina Fey is like, she did such a... Again, I think like her voice just ended up working really, really well with Lisa.
Yeah.
Which is like, it felt super natural in a way that some of the other ones just didn't as much.
So, Liam Neeson, Cate Blanchett, Betty White, Matt Damon, they can all stay. The two that need to go are Noah Cyrus and Frankie Jonas.
Oh my god, yeah. And like, I feel bad because like, I don't want to like rip into like young children for doing their best, but like, honestly, this is... And the thing is, because I was reading reviews and like, it seemed like all the critics were like, oh, like Noah Cyrus is awful, Frankie Jonas is way better. I feel like that's actually not true.
I feel they're
watching
both...
Frankie Jonas is not that good. It's just in comparison, when Noah Cyrus comes on, that you realize he's the best of two evils.
But they're
more
both,
than anything else. Yeah, they're both not that good, and yeah, it's just some of the... And one thing because I know it's like, it's a hard job. I'll admit, whoever ends up getting the script and has to like translate Japanese into English. That's a rough job for movies, especially if you're in a company like Disney where you have to try to change, say, like cultural things in a way that like a very large audience who may not have any exposure to another culture at all will understand. But like, there are moments in that movie that are just kind of like when Ponyo like makes the ship bigger.
Yeah.
Sosuke has this moment. I don't know what he's supposed to say in Japanese, but in the dub, like, it translates to... Frankie Jonas goes like, thank you! And it's like the most awkward, like, just like, you can tell it's not at all what he was supposed to be saying in that line, but like, that's what they went with for the English translation, and it's just so awkward and awful.
Yeah.
I remember it every time, because it's just so jarring.
There's some weird stuff with that translation, but if we were to keep everyone else and just recast our two leads, who would you recast them with? Child actors.
I have no idea, like, which child actors are even a thing right now. Do you?
See, the only one I know, and what made me think of this, is I'm sitting here watching, and the entire time I'm thinking, this would have been so much better if Zach Callison was in this.
That would have been such a different...
But I just like Zach Callison.
I like Zach Callison, too. I think Zach Callison... because his voice has changed a lot too since he's gone through puberty, and I feel like his voice is so high now when he does like say Steven that I like don't know if that would... I don't know. I honestly think maybe a child actor shouldn't do it. Maybe they should just have an open casting call for like any kid and see which one who may or may not have a ton of experience but just fits really well and is really good at taking direction to have the role. Versus just like, who's another really popular child actor who we can stuff in here for like promotional merit.
But the thing with Callison is, yeah, he's most famous for Steven. Watch Sophia the First. His work on that for like a younger child, he's really good.
No, I think he's very good as a voice actor. I just like at the point he is in his life. Or are you saying like if they cast him when he was younger?
They cast him in 2008. I don't even think he was an actor yet, but see, that's the thing too, is this came out almost a decade ago now.
Oh my god, yeah, that's
8 years.
Crazy. Oh my god, yeah, it's a long time. If they cast him then, I think maybe it would have worked. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of options. This is what we got, though.
Yeah, this is.
I think we could have done better. What do you think would have been good for Ponyo then?
Oh dear. Who was acting in 2008?
I have no idea either.
What was happening in the world? Who was a thing?
Who was a young thing? Yeah, I don't know.
I would even open it up a little bit older because I just don't know. I only know Zach Callison because he's everywhere and he won an Emmy, I think, for Prince James and Sophia.
Wow.
As far as Zach Callison's awesome. But as far as Zach. I mean, was Ariel Winter younger back then?
Probably.
The
I don't
Modern
know.
Family girl, she would have been like 14-ish. How old is Ariel Winter? Is a great question that we're going to answer live on the Overly Animated podcast.
Are we? All right.
We are, because I want to do the math now. Because, all right, Ariel Winter, I don't care what dress she wore to an event. That's quite all right, Google. Okay, she's 18 now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So in 2008, she would have been 11. She started acting in 2004. Yeah, she would have been fine. She would have been fine.
Would have been a little more tolerable, I think. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's probably more the direction than anything, but also just like they're not super experienced with voice acting. The reason they were cast is very likely because of their namesake and their connection to their famous siblings more than anything else. And like,
it's like, I'm a little Cyrus, I'm a little Jonas.
Like, I'm sure like their family saw that was a super cute idea, but yeah, I'm sure they also get a lot of backlash from this now that they're older, and I like feel bad about like continuing that into their adult lifetimes. But
I'm curious if their acting careers came to a halt after this happened. I'm curious.
I doubt that. I don't know.
The last movie that okay, so here's the entire filmography of Noah Cyrus. All of her movie roles. Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus Best of Both Worlds concert as herself. Mostly Ghostly as a trick-or-treater. Ponyo, there we go. And then Hannah Montana the movie. And that was her last movie role.
Maybe she decided the showbiz just wasn't for her.
Apparently she became... No, her entire discography is one song, and that's the Ponyo theme song, and we know how that turned out.
Oh, no.
How did Frankie do after this movie? I feel bad for these kids, yet at the same time...
I do, too. I feel bad. They weren't that awful. It's just like... It just could have been better, and we both know it, and that's the frustrating thing.
Yep.
It's not like their fault, like, that they got cast. Like, they're probably ecstatic, and they did their best. It's just, like, Disney, I think, made this decision for the wrong reasons in terms of quality. They made the right decisions in terms of, like, money.
He made it all the way to Spooky Buddies. He was in the wonderful movie Spooky Buddies.
Never heard of it.
You remember Air Bud?
Yeah.
Remember how they made a bunch of unneeded sequels to Air Bud?
Yeah.
They made a spin-off franchise that was unneeded about Air Bud's pups.
And there's like a Halloween one called
And
Spooky
then they made
Buddies.
like 5 or 6 of them. It started with Air Buddies, and then it became its own franchise. So yeah.
I remember Air Buddies being a thing, but...
It kept going.
Wow. It's like the Land Before Time movies. You vaguely know that they just kept going for a long time, but you like have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you don't know that there's 5. Coming up next on the movie discussion, Land Before Time 15.
No, never. I'll never. Absolutely not.
What if we do 1 through 14 first?
No!
And then...
No way. I'll do the first one. That's it.
You'll do... Whoa, wait. Land Before Time 2 is good.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. With the little baby T-Rex or whatever.
Oh, I don't remember it actually.
Okay,
but I doubt it's as good as the first one. This is a tangent.
Yeah, but Steven Spielberg worked on the first... Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
he
did.
Tangent.
He worked on like everything in like the 80s and 90s.
If you had a childhood, Steven Spielberg was a part of it.
Yeah, he was. For better or worse.
So this ends the voice cast segment of our Ponyo discussion. Our next hot topic for this roundtable is the comparisons to Little Mermaid.
Right. I mean, it's such a different movie. Like, what is there to say? I mean, I don't even know if I could like rank one better than the other because they're just doing such different things.
It's like Ponyo's 5, Ariel's
16.
16.
She's
16.
Oh yeah, she has that line. I'm 16, I'm not a child anymore.
Okay, that makes the whole movie a little bit weirder now that I think
I know. When you think about like modern perspectives of like when people should be like hooking up for life. But like I remember when I was like really young and I thought 16 was like super old, so.
But also granted, Atlantean law, who knows. But
yeah, mermaid marriage could be way younger.
Mermaid marriage. Hashtag mermaid marriage. Please. Please. So, they're both based on the same story, right? The story of the Little Mermaid. It's an old fairy tale, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember.
Christian Andersen story. Yes.
Yay! So, which is the better Hans Christian Andersen? Is it Hans or Hans?
Oh God. Well, Hans is a very American way of saying it. It's probably like Hans or something.
Which is the better Hans Christian Andersen adaptation? Frozen or Ponyo?
Frozen. Oh God. It's probably not Ponyo because I think The Little Mermaid was closer, but they both kind of got away from the actual state. Although, Ponyo actually, when her parents were like, "We're really gonna do this like arbitrary test to prove Sosuke's love to our daughter," they said that the stakes were like if he didn't say he loved her, that she turned to sea foam, and that actually is like the canon ending.
Yeah.
Of Little Mermaid, and she does die. So Disney kind of forgot about that for the sake of people's hearts, I guess.
I wouldn't want Ariel turning to sea foam. It would have been a great story. Don't sell your voice for a man you've never met and turn to sea foam.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like she'd been exposed a lot to, like, the world, so, like, I can see her being that naive. I mean, she really only had, like, her family kingdom and, like, specific parts of the ocean she'd visit, and she spent all her time collecting human garbage, so, I mean, like, her life wasn't that exciting.
Yeah,
so I could see her wanting to.
The thing I liked about Ponyo, and I think I'm going to use that word problematic, the thing I like about Ponyo is in Little Mermaid, Ariel saves Eric and then falls in love with him. Mm-hmm. Ponyo, Sosuke saves her, cares for her, treats her well, keeps her safe, and she falls in love with him. Or not falls in love with him, but because, 5 and in love versus love and all that jazz. Point is, Sosuke actually is kind. She has reasons to have feelings for him other than, cute guy, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the relationship in Ponyo between Ponyo and Sosuke is more founded, or more grounded rather. There's more base for it. Like, it makes sense.
You say it's more realistic.
Yes.
Eric
I can't believe
Ariel.
I'm saying that Ponyo is more realistic than anything, but yes, it's more realistic.
I agree. I think they definitely have more of an actual relationship in any sense of that word than Ariel and Eric, just because they barely spend any time together. When they do, like, she can't talk to him most of the time. So it's, like, not really... They know each other for, 3 days, right? That's, like, the timeline in The Little Mermaid. Like, she has, 3 days to get him to fall in love with her, and then that's, it.
Yeah, but you have Sebastian.
Yeah, Ponyo might know Sosuke maybe, 3 days, but, she spends, most of the movie with him, and they do everything from, the super crazy to the super mundane, having dinner. So
all the little dinner stuff was so cute.
Cute.
I don't think I could have sat through an entire movie of just Ponyo and Sosuke being adorable little children together, but I could have sat through an entire movie of Ponyo and Sosuke being adorable little children. Because it was just the most heartwarming, beautiful thing I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And I loved it.
And Sosuke's, an insanely patient 5-year-old.
Yes.
Honestly. He's, he's really mature for being 5.
But I'm sorry. Would you let a 5-year-old walk through a storm... through a shortcut in the...
that was so weird when he's in the kindergarten and she's like, "Oh, do you want me to call your mom?" He's like, "No, I'll just walk over." I'm like, there's a hurricane outside.
There's a typhoon happening.
That's not okay. He could get blown away. He almost did that one time before the mom caught him. But that was a little, that again, if you try to apply logic, it starts to get really frustrating as a movie, but yeah. I would not have let that happen if I was that teacher.
The moment I started applying logic was when Ponyo was eating ham, and I'm like, but what would happen to the ham in the water?
Yeah, right? I was wondering that too. It was really... One of the things I really like about Ghibli movies is that they just put so much detail into very mundane things. I remember when Sosuke was tearing the bread off and he was tugging the corner until it came off, and just you feel that weight of the bready substance. Versus when he was peeling off a piece of the ham with his mouth. And that's just those details make it so much more lifelike, and I love that.
Yeah, it felt, I can't believe we're saying it again, it felt realistic. We need to stop using this word.
No, we can use it. I think it's fine. We know what we mean by that.
We
Hopefully
know.
The listeners do too.
Hopefully the listeners don't... I feel like Dylan is off on vacation and he comes back and he hears about how horribly we ran things and he's like, great, I can't leave anymore. Like, I feel like that's how this works. Like, we're the substitute teachers. And
that's not true. And we just pick the things that other people might not be interested in, but that could be to their own detriment, you know? We're getting into really serious discussions here.
This is a surprisingly good podcast. I want to talk about two main story things. One is the mom stuff, and the other one's the Ponyo stuff. And there's a really unexpected scene I want to talk about with the Ponyo stuff. But first, let's talk about the mom. Let's talk about Lisa. What a great character.
Oh my god, I love Lisa. I mean, like, I think, like, all the moms in all these movies are so good. But, like, Lisa, maybe part of the reason Lisa stands out is because she's, like, the most dynamic of anyone, including Ponyo, in a way.
But Ponyo changes species.
True,
what's
but
more
like,
dynamic
still,
than that?
Mom is just like, she's consistently fun and she's like realistically flawed and like she's a good mom, but she's not perfect and she's like kind of a reckless driver. Like there are all these things you can talk about with the mom.
Yeah, the vibe I got immediately was Nani and Lilo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's sisters, not mom and son, but I got that same kind of vibe, like the flawed, but still good-hearted.
Yeah, like trying to be responsible, but like still gets like frustrated by the other one.
Also
and like it's just
realism.
Keep it all together. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what people identify with her, because like they understand and have sympathy for her situation and root for her trying to like do the best she can do.
The scene where she's upset with her husband is just... That's one of the most heart-wrenching scenes I have seen in any animated movie.
She tries to open the beer and it's like, it goes everywhere. And she's like, fine, we'll just like...
Can we talk about the beer in a G-rated movie for like a hot sec?
It's probably just not as big a deal in Japan.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the weird thing that started happening with this movie, is stuff that's totally fine in Japan, and then you come over to America, and I'm like... Really? It's not that I'm surprised it's in the movie. I'm surprised they didn't do something to edit it out or edit the rating or something, you know?
I mean, it didn't. It just looked. If it wasn't for the froth, you probably couldn't tell a lot that it was beer, and they're probably banking on. I don't think kids would really notice that, honestly. So they're like, it's okay.
The other scene, the whole milk discussion with Ponyo and the baby.
I was so happy.
I thought it was so pure and so sweet, and it made it. It was a good scene.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm just surprised that Disney let it pass.
Random. I mean, that whole like with the baby looking all angry and just like her like, yeah, I don't know why that was in the movie again. Like, what it felt like just killing time, but like, yeah, I don't know. There's so much controversy still around, like, you know, like public breastfeeding and just like breastfeeding being a thing, even though it's like totally normal. And so I liked the fact that they actually took time to talk about it and hopefully normalize it a little more for families or at least children. Because there's nothing wrong with it. It happens every day. It's
exactly.
Like, get over it. It's fine.
Exactly.
And like, associates it. It's like, yeah, my mom made milk for me. It's just like, it's like, good job. I'm glad we have a reasonable discussion about this where it's not crazy or weird.
But it's like, as we're sitting on two floating boats in the middle of a tsunami, it's...
Again, if you apply too much logic, it starts to be like, why are we doing this right now?
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was a really good scene. But again, I was shocked Disney let it pass like that, just because knowing Disney, and Disney usually tries to play it cool, even though some people think they don't. Disney really does stay on the safe side most times.
Oh, absolutely.
And the amount that this was marketed. I mean, stuff like Spirited Away didn't have that big a theatrical opening. Ponyo had a huge theatrical opening.
It really did. Didn't it gross the most out of any of Ghibli's movies?
At least in America, definitely.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, it was on Disney. They were talking about it on Disney Channel every single day. Like, they were marketing the heck out of this movie, and the fact that they kept that in this G-rated movie, I thought was interesting, because they had to face there had to be some stuff brought up, even if it wasn't like a lot of controversy. I'm sure someone said something, but the fact that Disney stuck to their guns. Yeah, it's a good scene. So whose story to you is the most compelling? Ponyo's story to become a human, or Lisa's story of just living? And she's so chill, though, with just, you were a goldfish, now you're a person.
Yeah, right? She's like, okay. And like, everything surrounding them, I'm just like way too chill about. I mean, like she's not like too chill, but she's like really surprisingly chill about the whole thing. She's like, she never like has that moment. She's like, I should call Ponyo's mom and see like what's like up, and if she wants her kid back. She's like, oh, you can stay here. Like I won't ask any questions. Sosuke just look after her when she wakes up. Like, peace. I'm gonna go help the old people. Like, she doesn't ask any questions about Ponyo's origin.
However, but she saw Ponyo as a goldfish. So
yeah, but like, I don't know if she put two and two together. Like Sosuke didn't recognize Ponyo at first as a human either. So maybe she just literally thought that fish was not also Ponyo until like Ponyo's mom had a like long conversation with her about it.
Like, yeah, that's my daughter.
It's hard to
she was a fish.
Yeah,
no,
right? Like, what the heck?
I love it. This is Ponyo. I used to be a fish. That might be one of my favorite conversations ever. But she's just like so proud of the fact. She's like, I was a fish.
Ponyo's proud of everything. I do honestly like. We were saying like Sosuke is like very mature for a 5-year-old, but Ponyo feels like a really like normal little 5-year-old girl, like super energetic, super like just jumping around, like getting into everything, just like excited about everything, falling asleep all the time.
For the second Frozen reference of the podcast, the sky's awake, so I'm awake.
Yeah. I do really like Ponyo, and again, like if you go back and watch Ponyo with the like Japanese voices, I think she's even more exciting and less like grating to listen to. But I really liked her. But like, yeah, I think maybe I'm more interested in the mom in general, just because she has more stakes and maybe stronger dynamics than Ponyo. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, definitely. The mom, Lisa, just feels more dynamic. She feels more like a Ghibli character. I mean, they both feel like Ghibli characters. Lisa feels more like my personal favorite kind of Ghibli character, which is that Only Yesterday, Wind Rises, more sophisticated. Not more sophisticated. Yeah, I'd say more sophisticated. That kind of just more calm Ghibli style. While Ponyo's like, he's delivery service, Spirited Away, that very energetic young girl kind of thing. And I feel like a good way of putting it. They're the two sides of Ghibli characters, but Ponyo's not the best done of that kind, while Lisa's really high up there.
Again, I think that has to do with just like your priorities for this movie. If you're looking for like engaging, like interesting characters, I feel like Lisa's definitely going to be more your speed, but like if you're a 5-year-old, I feel like you'd identify way more with Ponyo than you would the mom. So I think it has to do with like perspective more than anything. I don't think she's a bad little girl character. I think for a 5-year-old, she shouldn't be that complex. You know, I think Sosuke's kind of maybe too complex for a 5-year-old, but like I don't mind that either. Like I love Sosuke, but yeah.
So final question: what do you think of the Ponyo theme song? Okay, the one played during the end credits.
So, okay, the one I found online actually had the non-English, so I really liked it. I thought it was super cute, but I've heard that the English one is like a weird remix and it's awful. Is that what happened when you listen to it?
It's literally the worst thing I've ever heard.
What does it sound like?
Ponyo, Ponyo, tiny fishy in the sea. Ponyo, Ponyo, something, magic, I don't know. Something like that. It
gets like weird and remixed at the end, right? That's what all the reviews kept saying.
Maybe, but it's Noah Cyrus and Frankie Jonas singing.
Oh God, they sing it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So imagine
That's too
Ponyo
bad.
just screaming Ponyo at you, and it's...
Oh my God.
It's about what it's like, Michelle.
Wow.
It's
good
not
job
how I wanted
you
to end
listening
my night.
to that so that I didn't have to talk about
You're
it.
welcome. I
appreciate that.
So that little tidbit concludes our discussion on Ponyo. All in all, not as bad as we thought.
Yeah, really.
Not an awful
movie.
Definitely.
Just don't go into it expecting like Princess Mononoke or anything, and you'll be way better off.
Go into it expecting 2008 highly marketed Disney, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, because honestly, Disney did their best to make it Disney-ified, but it's still a Ghibli film at heart.
Oh,
and
definitely.
That's still heads and shoulders above a lot of other movies. So, like, it's not awful at all.
Right.
It's just, he made it for 5-year-old children, and that's what you need to keep in mind when you're watching it and coming up with all these plot-related, like, things you were so confused about, and, like, the pacing and such. That's not the point. supposed to be magical. If you're like 5 and like your perception of how logic works when you're 5 and what an adventure should be like when you're 5 and what like a storybook fantasy should be like, it's all that. So if you like that, you'll like Ponyo.
I do like that, and so I did at least partially like Ponyo.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys so much for listening. If you like what you hear, if you like us, if you like our other podcasts, feel free to support us. iTunes reviews are one of our favorites. You can go to iTunes, preferably on the main Overly Animated feed where you'll find this podcast. We also have specific show feeds, but preferably on our main feed. Leave us an iTunes review. We love getting those. We love reading those. They make my day, especially when people say I'm their favorite, which has happened multiple times.
It has? Oh my god.
At least once, if not twice, on iTunes. It makes me happy. So, make us happy. Leave iTunes reviews. They really do help out, guys. They really, really do. If you feel like financially supporting us, you can go to patreon.com/overlyanimated, support this ad-free podcast. You get all kinds of cool bonuses. You get a patron-exclusive nickname. You get your name and nickname read on every podcast. There's exclusive live streams. There's a Facebook group. All kinds of cool stuff. Get the full list of rewards at patreon.com/overlyanimated. But for now, thanks to our current patrons, Mitch, Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Devon, Jade, John, Phoenician, Victoria, and Katrin, a.k.a. Fever Mitch, Cordell University, Beatrix Lestrange, Nathan Fillion, Buzz Lightyear, Mailman, Rachel Rose, Johnny Bravo, Brian, Cookie Cat Needle, Diamond Day, Jewel, Garfield, Fusion, Skylark, and Patron Katrin. Think I got them all.
Yeah, you did.
Awesome. So, coming up, we're going to have a Steven Universe Roundtable. I'm presuming this is going up Tuesday again, which means
I think so.
Which means there's a Steven Universe Roundtable coming up soon. I think y'all already recorded that one, right?
Yeah, we did earlier.
Oh, we're so ahead. It's ridiculous.
That's a good thing, though.
Stars on hiatus, I believe. There's be Powerpuff Girls at some point. Probably some more Ladybug news eventually. Till then, guys, stay tuned. We should be back with another movie next week. Michelle, any thoughts on movies?
I want to do Cat Returns. I think that would actually be really fun.
I will see if there's a list on that. I've not.
Oh, you should watch Whisper of the Heart first then, because it's kind of related to Whisper of the Heart.
I will see if there's a sign-up sheet for Whisper of the Heart. If not,
they
we'll be back with
they actually did Whisper of the Heart. Dylan did it solo, but nobody's done Cat Returns, I'm pretty sure. You should just watch it because it's good and it's relevant to Cat Returns.
And then do Cat Returns.
Yes.
All right. We will look into that. We'll be back. Maybe a non-Ghibli Pixar movie, as Dylan has been highly pushing us to do. Do you have one of those, Michelle?
Probably. I mean, we could do Box Trolls.
We've been saying we're going to do Box Trolls.
My God, you're gonna have to be the one hyped about that movie, because it's going to be hard for me to
It's got Simon
remember
Pegg.
it.
I'll be hype. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.